y'all, this is Monica. I am the Natural Hair Eclectic, and thank you so much for tuning in today. We have another hair video for you, and today's question is, what is your best advice for new naturals and people who are new to natural? And for me, that's going to be number one, to do your research before you go natural. Two, to stick to the basics of natural hair care. Three, don't break your budget. And four, keep as simple of a hair regimen as you can in the beginning, okay? Because you're still new, you're still learning, and if you do too much, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to feel defeated, and that's when people are more likely to say, F it, I'm going back to a relaxer. So let's kind of get into this a little bit. The first thing about doing your research, it is really important to, it's just like anything, right? Like when you were in school and you had to, do a presentation on something, you had to do some research, get some books, go online, look for some articles, find some information to put together to, make your presentation. And look at your hair the same way. You don't know anything about your natural hair. Like most of us have been relaxing our hair since we were little. Our parents started, or our mothers started relaxing our hair. And you may not, know anything about what your natural hair looks like, or, how it behaves, or how to take care of it. That's the case, for most of us, I think. So it's always good to do your research first, so you just know the basics of, well, what is the structure of, what is hair? What are the different types of hair? What is it that makes your hair curly or kinky or coily as opposed to straight? What is the thickness of the hair? A lot of times we think that because hair is quote unquote nappy or curly, that it's thick, and it might be thick in the sense of density that you got a whole lot of hair on your head, but most of the time the hair is really, really, really fine and breaks easy, so these are things that you want to know because it impacts how you're going to take care of your hair. You need to kind of get this information about, how to care for the hair, what's the structure of the hair, what is the texture on your hair like, what's the best way to, maintain your hair in order for you to be the most successful when you actually do decide to go natural. For me, that's what I did. I had been thinking about doing it for a while. I'm the type of person in general that, when I think about doing something, I have to do my research and really kind of get as much information about the topic as I can beforehand. And it might take me a long time to decide exactly, what I'm going to do or if I'm going to do it or not. But when I make that decision, it's final and I'm committed to it, point blank and period. And that's what I did. I read some books. I went online. So I just want to share some great natural hair resources for you here. And these are some of the, actually most of these are resources that, I used when I went natural. The first is a website called naturality.com. When I went natural, and you have to remember I went natural in June of 2006. The natural hair care revolution, if you want to call it that, hadn't really kicked off just yet. So back then, if you wanted to find out information about natural hair care or natural hair care products, there wasn't a natural hair care aisle for real at the stores like there are now, so you had to look online for stuff. Naturality, hands down, is the reason that I went natural and why I stayed natural. Because everything that I ever wanted to know about natural hair care, I found on that site. And anytime I was struggling with something and I didn't know what to do, I could log on and look in the forums, and there was always an open forum about something I had questions about. The site looks a whole lot different now, a lot more easier to manage. Back then it was more like a list forum, like a blog type thing. But everything you need to know is on there. I'm so glad that a lot of stuff I would go through forums and just print stuff, for future reference. And I'm glad I did, because I don't know how I would find some of that stuff on their website now. But this is a really great natural hair care resource that you should check out. And this is a community that's dedicated to just natural hair. So you cannot come on this site and talk about chemical relaxers, lye. I don't even think you can talk about like pressing or straightening the hair or anything like that. So just be mindful of that. But you're going to find out everything you need to know about natural hair care on this site. So please check that one out. The second one, that's another natural hair care OG, is curlynikki.com. Another great resource for natural hair care. A lot of stuff on styling I found on her website. So you definitely want to check out curlynikki.com. YouTube. A lot of naturals you probably know about Natural 85's channel, YouTube channel. Okay, especially if you have like 4B, 4C hair. She has long, beautiful hair. So you definitely want to check out her channel. This channel right here, Ada, I found her because I wanted to find a different hair technique for braiding. Because I could braid, but the way I was braiding my hair, I couldn't get the stitch down the middle. And I found out it was my technique that I needed to correct. And I found her channel, and y'all, she has so many videos on how to braid, how to cornrow, how to French braid, how to do braids with extensions, braids without extensions. I think there's some twist videos, twist with it. Like, all of that stuff is in there. She has a wonderful channel, and she hasn't posted any content lately, and I hope she starts posting some stuff again. But I really love her channel. I think it's like one of the best channels I found to teach you how to braid. And you can actually, she tells you and she shows you, and it's just a great resource, so I will check her out. Of course, especially looking today, online is a lot of good resources too. You have Google. Just type in Google search like natural hair care, natural hair management, natural hair products, how to style natural hair, how to manage natural hair. You'll find so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? These days you can find anything. Social media, of course. Instagram, of course, YouTube. Now, you can find anything on YouTube. Just type it in the search and you will have so much information come up. There's no reason for you not to be able to go natural and stay natural these days. Blogs and forums. I don't know if people do that as much now as they did. Like when I went natural, most of the stuff that I found, that's how I found it on like online blogs and forums and things like listservs and things like that. But I would still look for that stuff too. The other thing that I would recommend is books. Yes. Go to the library and get a book, or go online and check one out. Get you an audio book if you don't like paper books. Get you, if you have a Kindle app, download the electronic file and get you a book. I wish I could remember. There was a book, and it's a red book with red and white book. I can't remember, but I can't remember the name of it, but I have to mention it because it was the first natural hair book that I read that really helped me out. And whenever I can find the name of it, I will put it in the link in the comment section, in the link box down below for you as well. But another book that I bought that I do remember is The Science of Black Hair, A Comprehensive Guide to Textured Hair Care by Audrey Davis Sivasati. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That is a great book. I can't testify to that. I did buy that book. I still have that book, but I did the Kindle version because I was big on Kindle at the time, but most of the time I like paper books. But a lot of times the electronic version is a little bit cheaper than the paper book. But that, hands down, is a great book that teaches you about the science of hair, the structure of hair, breaks down everything for you, the best way to care for natural hair. Okay, and then this book, I have not read this book, but I remember seeing it a lot even back when I first went natural, so I just wanted to recommend it. It's called Going Natural, How to Fall in Love with Nappy Hair by Mariel Leong A. Kong. And I like the title because that is really a part of how you stay natural, is to fall in love with nappy hair. You have to be committed to it. You have to have that hair philosophy that no matter what my hair looks like, I love this. This is the way I was made. This is a part of who I am. And I celebrate this, and I'm going to work with this. And my philosophy is that I allow my hair to do whatever it wants to do. You know, when you quote unquote relax your hair, it's not really relaxing for your hair. You're literally breaking chemical bonds in your hair, and it's not really relaxing for the hair at all. But just let the hair do what it wants to do and listen to your hair. That might sound silly to some people, but when you really take the time to get to know your hair, you will figure out exactly what it wants, exactly what it needs. Like, do you need more moisture? Do you need more oil? Are protective styles better for you? Can you leave your hair out? Should you keep your hair in a protective style when you wash it, or is it okay for you to leave it out while you wash it? Things like that. So just keep that, in mind. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is like sticking to the basics. So the thing about natural hair is pretty much moisture is the biggest thing. Moisturizing, conditioning, right? Because the hair is coily, it's curly, it's not a straight strand. Your hair, actually, your scalp produces sebum that is a natural moisturizer for your hair. When the hair is straight, it can get all the way down to the ends of the hair very easily. That's why people with straight hair have to wash their hair more often, because it gets oilier faster. But when you have curly, coily hair, that sebum isn't necessarily able to make it all the way down to the ends of your hair strand like if you had straight hair. So we have to help our hair out sometimes and give it the moisture that it needs, so that the moisture is getting not just on our scalp and the hair close to our scalp, but all the way down to the ends of our hair. And the ends of our hair is the most important part of our hair, because the ends are the oldest part of our hair. They are probably more thin, and they're more prone to breaking and splitting and knotting. So we want to make sure that the hair is properly moisturized so that we can minimize those issues and concerns. And we want to condition the hair to make sure it stays strong and healthy. We want to make sure we're getting a moisturizing conditioner, but also a protein conditioner every now and then, because our hair is made of keratin, and we want to make sure that it stays strong. We also want to seal. So one important thing that a lot of people don't realize when they go natural is, what is the difference between moisturizing and sealing, water and oil? Water is moisture. Why does your hair, when you get your hair washed, your hair feels so good? It soaks that water up. Some people, it takes them a little bit longer to get their hair completely saturated with water. Your hair is thirsty. It's like, I love this water. Give me more and more and more. Water is the purest form of moisture. Our hair loves it. It needs it. It thrives on it. We can get moisture from other products and things as well. Or we can put products in our hair that attract moisture, like vegetable glycerin. But moisture is what our hair needs and thrives on. But sometimes, because moisture is water, as the hair dries, what happens? The water evaporates, right? So sometimes we want to help our hair to hold on to as much moisture as it can. And that's why we use oil, because oil is a sealant. Oil helps us to seal in the moisture that's in our hair, but oil itself is not a moisturizer. If you put oil on your hair by itself, you will dry your hair out eventually, because your hair is dry and you just put an oil on top of your hair. So you are sealing in dryness essentially, and we don't want to do that. We want to moisturize the hair. A good thing I like to do is steam it in the shower in the mornings, let it get a little bit of moisture, and then put some oil on top of it to seal it in. Okay, that's what the oil is for, to seal. And it's also good for lubricating the hair strands to make it a little bit easier to style. If you're taking your twist or your braids down, if you take an oil or a pomade or something and rub it in your hands before you take your twists or your braids down, you're going to find out it's a lot easier to take them down. If you keep an oil or a pomade on the ends of your hair, then you're going to find out that you get less split ends, less of those little single strand knots. You can't avoid those because your hair is curly. It's the shape of your hair. But you can minimize them if you seal the ends of your hair as well. You want to try as many natural things. Like you stick to the basics. You don't even really got to do a lot unless you just want to do that. Try natural butters, shea butter, cocoa butter, things like that. Herbs and plants. Aloe vera, honey, lemon, avocado, bananas, things like that. I got some overripe bananas in the kitchen right now that I'm going to make into a conditioner with just banana, avocado, some honey, whatever else I got lying around I can think of to put in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can keep it simple. You don't have to spend a lot of money on products. Apple cider vinegar is good for cleansing your hair. Lemon is good for cleansing your hair. Just think of stuff like that. Also, do not break your budget. A lot of mistakes new naturals make is, they don't know how to manage. You don't know how to manage your hair, so you just buying every new product that's on TV or being advertised somewhere. And you don't really need to do all of that. Number one, because you're new to natural and you're still learning your hair texture. You need to figure out what works for your hair and what your hair needs before you invest in full-size products. There's no need for you to spend $20 on the latest curl cream or hair butter only to find out that it's not doing anything for your hair and you got a full bottle of a product that you done spent $20 on that you don't need. So if you can, buy a sample size first, and I promise you can. Go to the company's website. They usually will sell a sample size on their website that you can buy, a little sample pack that might cost you $5 to $10. Or you can try all of their products, especially if you have a little bitty teeny weeny afro, if you just hit the big chop. And that is a lot more affordable to you than investing in a large size and then finding out that the product don't even work for you. You can look for products in places like the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. I love the Dollar Tree. Don't sleep on it. Walmart. If you're into a natural lifestyle, you want to be careful with the products that you put into your hair. But over time, what I found out is that some people can use that stuff and it doesn't really bother them. Like, the issue that you would have is product buildup. And you might need to wash your hair more often or whatever. But some people don't have those issues. So, hell, if you find something in the Dollar Tree, it's $1.25. If it doesn't work for you, you're not going to care that much. You only wasted $1.25 versus $20 on the latest whatever that you bought at Sally's or something, So just keep that in mind. And the same thing with like hair tools and hair gadgets, like the steamers and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong, because I still want to get a steamer for myself, but the best steamer you have in your house is your shower. Okay, when my hair is out, I literally when I'm in the shower in the morning, I let my hair out and I let the steam re-moisturize my hair. Most days that works. If that's not enough, then I might scrunch some product in my hair. But for the most part, steam will get the job done, okay? You don't need all that extra stuff. If you start getting into all that extra stuff when you're new to natural, you'll get confused, you'll get frustrated, you'll spend a lot of money, you'll start feeling like I can't do this, and you'll be more likely to go back to a relaxer. So keep it really simple, in the beginning. Even with your hair management, your styling, you start looking on YouTube, everybody's doing all this cool stuff with their hair, and you want to learn how to do it, and that's cool, but you don't really have to do that unless you really want to and you have the time to do it. Find you a nice, easy, go-to staple style that works for you on a good and a bad hair day, and keep it rolling. It could be as simple as a head wrap. Some days I do head wraps and I'm good to go. But I will share with you my little style that I always go back to, and I can keep my hair like this for a week or two if I want to. All this is a puff with some braids going down the side and the front. How do you do this? Really easy. I put my parts on the side because I have a long face, and sometimes when you have a long oval face, if you have a center part, it makes your face look longer. Okay, so one of those little tips and tricks, if you have a long face, side parts probably work better for you, and or bangs, okay? But if you want to, you can do a part down the middle and it's fine. I just do this little part on the side, so the hair is going, the large majority of the hair is going to the right, because that's the way the side I like to wear my hair on. You can do it however you want to. And then it's a little part on the left, okay? All I did was just braid down the side on each side. Braid to the right, the other side of the part, I braid to the left. Just in the front, and then braid it down like a plait. And then the rest is just a puff. I don't even use like scrunchies or nothing. I get like a old t-shirt or a dress or something, cut a little piece off, and then just, well, I might need to show you what I mean, but or a nylon, you know what I'm talking about. Just, tighten it up, put it in a bowl, tuck it under something, and keep it going. This literally can be done in 5 minutes. If you can't braid, then flat twist it. You don't know how to flat twist it, you could just do a single twist. You don't know how to do that, then just slick it down with some pomade, some oil, some gel, or whatever. So many different options for you. But it could be that a regular puff is your go-to style. Just find you something that is your go-to style that when you're fooling around your hair and you can't get it to do nothing, this is the one style you can always come back to that works until you can fool with it again. Or, I encourage people to learn how to style your hair yourself, but find a reputable natural hairstylist in your area, But I always say, if you can figure out how to do it yourself, that's how I am. If I know I can do something myself, I'll just do it myself, because I don't want to pay nobody $50 to $100 to do something that I know I can probably figure out myself. Like, I kind of want to do some big, chunky, poetic justice, Dookie braid type style. But I'm not finna go out here and pay nobody $100 to do them braids when I'm pretty sure that I can do it myself. I know that I can do it myself. So that's my advice to you. I kind of have gone over the limit. I would edit this, but I'm not going to, because I actually think it's a lot of good information in this video. And if this video is helpful to you and you're transitioning to natural, going natural, or you're a new natural and this was helpful to you, then let me know. And if there's any content that I could provide to you that would be helpful and useful to you on your journey, please comment below and let me know as well. If you have video suggestions or ideas, same thing. As always, like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone who can benefit from this information, please share it with them as well. I want to thank you for tuning in as I am revamping my life and sharing my life story and my life journey, my hair journey with you. And I thank you for taking this journey with me and for tuning in and listening to me just talk about a little random stuff. But I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. I hope that you are blessed on this Sunday, that everything goes well for you. And I will catch up to you all later. You all take care. As always, I leave you with the natural hair care, natural hair eclectic motto, which is to beat you beautifully and naturally. I'll catch up to y'all later, y'all. Take care. Bye.